So if you have ever wondered what the process is like for joining agencies or in the process of joining one, here is my process of how I went about from being a nursing student to now working by agencies. Disclaimer, this is my experience and how things happened for me. Different people have had different experiences with the agencies that I'm going to be speaking about. So you're more than welcome to talk about it in the description, but be nice. This was my experience and it doesn't have to be the same as yours. So I graduated from nursing school from UWs in 2022. Then because I'm an international student, I don't do ComServe. So I had to go straight into working. But I first had to wait for my SENG certificate to come out, which came out just beginning of March. And then I only started working in May. So there's a bit of a difference from graduation in December to starting to work in May. It's about a 5-month time period that you just have to be aware of that it's coming. And during that time, I was babysitting, doing side jobs, just doing anything so that I don't get bored out of my mind, and also making some money in the process. So I started joining agencies in March, as soon as my SENG certificate came out, but because of the process that I'm going to be talking about, it does take a bit of time for the turnaround process and that sort of thing. So just be aware of that. So most agencies have, I think it's like a 4-step process to joining and for you to start working. So the first one is obviously you need to sign up. Some have a website where you sign up, put your information, your SAG number, and that sort of thing, or they'll request for you to send an email to a certain agency email. And then you say, I want to sign up, etc., etc. Then they'll tell you to come submit documentation. So then the second step is obviously you go to their offices, you submit your documentation. I'll put a list here of the common documentation that they'll require you. Please make sure that you have certified copies of everything because you do not want to keep them with your originals. So after you submit your documentation, you're going to be required to do a test. So this test can either be online or in person, but pretty much the test is just basics and it depends also on your rank. If you're an RN, an EN, or ENA, you have different questions. And then also after your interview process, they'll do some background check. So you also need to have a police clearance form and you also need to do fingerprints. One agency, they made me do the fingerprints at the office. Another agency said I must do it at Postnet. So different ones have different things. Then after the interview process, they'll require you to come in also to do signing of documentation. This signing of documentation is your malpractice insurance. Either they will give you one or you have to find your own one. You must sign an indemnity form and also accidental injury insurance. Whereas you have a needle prick injury, you need to have someone who's going to cover the cost of the testing, the medication you'll be on, and that sort of thing. And then also they might also give you your contract on that same day. Please make sure that you read your contracts to the T so that you know what deductions they're going to be making, what is going to be your pay rate, the cancellation process, if they're going to be giving you leave days, what's the calculation for how many leave days they give you based on the amount of time that you're working, and also figure out what the communication process is. For some agencies, they'll just call you, hi sister, we have a shift here and here there, and then you must go. Some agencies will send it as an email, some will send it as an SMS. So you need to know what their process is, and you also need to know about cancellation fees, if your agency cancels you and that sort of thing. So after that whole process of submitting documentation, getting information that you need from the agency, then you need to go for orientation. So in most cases, someone from the agency, the clinical facilitator, is supposed to take you to the clinical facility where they show you this is the facility where you're going to be working, or this ward is allowing you to orientate here so that you're familiar with that hospital and you can work there. But in some cases, the agencies don't have enough clinical facilitators. So if you are somewhat familiar with the facility because you work there as a student and whatnot, sometimes they will just like, sister, there's a shift there, and you're like, okay, I'll go, and you go. But I'll speak more in detail about my specific experience with my other agencies. Yeah, so pretty much each agency is facilitated with a different facility that can either be private or government. In private, you need to have orientation, and you also need to have orientation in government. So even if it's the same agency, you need to have orientation with both. And when you are there, you also need to make sure that you're able to clock in. You also need to know where you need to sign in to make sure that you get paid. Because if you don't clock in, if you don't sign in or sign out, they will not pay you for your money. And also sometimes they will do an orientation in a group. So sometimes the orientation date might come late because they're trying to get a group of people to be orientated at the same time. Also, if you're going to go into private, because of their online system, you also need a separate orientation for their online system, and they also do that in groups. So that will also delay the time frame from when you actually register with your agency and when you actually start working. And then so after they do the orientation, after that, in that facility you can start working. If you want to go to a different hospital, the ideal thing is they're supposed to orientate you for each different hospital, but in most cases, if they've orientated you for one, they will just send you everywhere because they say it's the same thing. So, but yeah, anyway, then after that, your agency needs also be able to provide you with upskilling and training if you don't know anything. There's a video that I made a while back where I said that my nursing school didn't teach us how to put up jobs, and my agency had to teach me, and people were going off at me like, I would not trust you as my RN if you don't know how to put up jobs. Guys, it just happened, okay? My agency trained me how to put up jobs. I know how to do jobs now. Actually quite a pro, if I can say so for myself. Yeah, but whatever. So your agency also needs able to provide you with that training should you need, especially if you're moving from government to private. There's a few things that are a little bit different. So if your agency can provide that training for you, it also works. Also, some agencies would train you if you want to move from maybe like a normal ward to a specialist ward, like your renal, your ICU. They can also provide that training for you. So you also need to be aware of what kind of training your agency is going to offer you. So pretty much this is the basics, or the basic story that happens when you're joining agencies. This process can take a time period from literally a month to 2 months. I think with mine, March, April, May. Mine, it was 2 months. I've heard some people wait even longer because they're not able to get dates for orientation, or the hospitals that they want to orientate you at, it's too far from where you stay and that sort of thing. But yeah, this is pretty much the general process. And then in the next video, I'm going to be covering the agencies that I'm affiliated with separately. I will explain my experience, their pay rates, and that sort of thing in a whole different video. So I'll see you then.